Nina and I'm Dr. Nancy Peterson. We're going to show you how to brush your cat's teeth today. Dental disease is a very significant disease with our cats. It's also one of the most preventable diseases that we can see. 70 to 80% of our cats over age 3 have dental disease. And that is important because cats can feel mouth pain just like you and I can, but it's also a big source of infection not only for the mouth but for other areas of their body. Home dental care is a very important part of helping keep their mouth healthy and much more comfortable. The thing to remember about brushing the teeth and home care with our cats is that is a preventative measure. It does not treat dental disease once it's already present. And that is a very, very important thing to remember. Brushing is to help prevent disease, not to treat disease. And there are times when brushing the teeth is not a good idea. If you have a cat with painful mouth lesion, brushing the teeth not only is not helpful, but it's very painful for them, and it's something that we do not recommend at that point in time. When you're brushing the teeth with your cats, what we want you to do first of all is just get them used to you being around their mouth. You just take their head and just kind of rub along their face, getting them used to you being around there, and that's a good first step with that. The other thing that you can do, this is a Q-tip, this is a longer handle that you'll have at home, but you can use some tuna water or just a little bit of water of any form, but we like to have something that has a flavor to it that they will like. Some clam juice is another thing you can use, and just use it to get them used to you being in their mouth and rubbing along their gum lines. And that is a good first step. The other thing you can do with a little bit of the tuna water or the clam juice is just give them a drop or two on their tongue after you're done brushing or working around their mouth, and they will find that to be a positive reward, and that's something that we want this to be a pleasant time for them. Ideally, we want you to do the brushing of the teeth every day. You need to really do it at least 3 times a week to make a statistical difference in the overall health of their mouth. And that is one of the things that we'll find, that people that brush just don't do it often enough to make a big difference for their oral health. When you're brushing the teeth, the vast majority of their problem is on the outside of their teeth, or the ones along the cheek line. The ones on the inside by the tongue, it's not as important to do the brushing there. The saliva and the tongue does a little better job of keeping those areas clean. When you get really good at it with your cat, you certainly can do some brushing along the inside, but if you spend 90% of your brushing time on the outside of the teeth, we're quite happy with that. One of the things to remember when you're looking at the teeth here, there are a couple teeth back behind this big one that you can see. And we want to make sure that when you're brushing, you get far enough to get back to those teeth also. So I do a lot of my brushing with them with the mouth pretty well closed. Again, I'm going to start with a Q-tip here and just rub along the surface of the tooth and along the gum line. I do it in a circular fashion. And what I try and do is count to 6 before I move it to a new spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, move to a new spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see I have a finger underneath her jaw here, and that's kind of helping control her mouth. I don't really work to keep her mouth open. In fact, I find that to be detrimental when I'm brushing the teeth with them. You can see that she's very used to this. Her owner is doing a great job of brushing routinely. Even with a cat that's doing a lot of brushing, you may get a little of red discharge or from discoloration just from the irritation along there, and that is not abnormal, and we're not alarmed by that as long as it's a small amount. With toothpaste with our cats, what you want to use is a veterinary toothpaste. Human toothpaste isn't meant to be swallowed, can be irritating for them. It is also one that it is something that we don't want to use as a salt or hydrogen peroxide. That's very irritating. The most important thing for brushing the teeth for our cats is actually the mechanical action of the brushing. So when you're doing this, this is a long toothbrush that has a smaller end that works pretty well for a cat mouth. And again, I'm with my right hand, and I'm going just along these gum line at a 45-degree angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This isn't her flavor, she says. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before I move to the other spots, okay? The only time it's a problem when you have the mouth closed like that is when you're working on these bottom teeth. And then I do just slide the mouth open just a little bit to be able to get to the bottom ones. There you go, sweetheart. That's a good girl. Okay? All right. And again, we want you to be brushing on a daily basis with that. It's something that we a lot of times like to follow with a treat. Find something that they find to be very attractive and that you can get a positive reward after you're brushing your teeth on a daily basis.